All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel and welcome to today's video. And boy, do we have a good one today. With the new season of The Mandalorian coming up, I thought it'd be great to print out a model of The Mandalorian. And I'll tell you, there's a model maker on Printables that you guys have got to check out that made this great model. So this is the way that I printed it, and hopefully you can print it too. Let's get started right after this.
Lendizzle Production.
All right, so here we are on Printables, and as you can see, I did a search for MMU Mandalorian, and the first one that came up is a really good one. Be sure that you like and download this one. It's a really good model. So let's take a look at the files here, and the thing to note here is you'll see some of them say simple in there and some of them don't. Be sure to either download and print all the ones that say simple or all the ones that don't say simple. I chose the latter of that, so I chose all the ones that didn't have simple in them, and that's what I printed. If you want to print the simple ones, then do that. I don't really know what the difference is, but just be consistent. That's the important thing, is just be consistent. So go ahead and download the ones that you want to print, and I'll meet you in the studio. All right, now that you have all your STL files in order, let's go ahead and drag and drop those in, and we'll go ahead and load a single object with multiple parts. And we'll go ahead and use our assembly view and blow it up here and go ahead and paint everything that we need to paint. And I believe that's it. We'll just have 4 colors on this print. We'll have the silver, the black, the leather color, and this brown color. So a couple other things here. I actually want to print this a little bit bigger, so we'll use the scale to scale it uniformly, which means that it'll just move, it'll make everything grow or shrink or scale in a uniform manner. So we'll do 150, and as you can see, it went 150 all the way across there. So once we're done with that, we'll go ahead and take a look at it. Everything looks good there. So let's take a look at a couple other settings that we have in here. I am using the 0.4 nozzle. I am going to use a little bit higher quality in the 0.16, whereas I usually use 0.20 millimeter. But today we'll be using the 0.16. We'll also be using a little bit of a brim, as you can see here. In the quality, we'll be doing ironing on all the top surfaces so we don't get the spiraling as bad like we did on Baby Yoda. And in the strength space right here, I have the infill density set to 5. So I do on the infill set it to a lower number if it's just a showpiece like this. But if it is something structural, you'll want to keep that at the 15% or whatever the normal value is for that. But for this particular model, we want to save some time, save some material, so we'll have that set at 5. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at what the slice time is on that and how much filament it's going to use. So I'm going to hit the slice button and I'll see you when it's done. All right, so as you can see, it's done with the slice, and our total time is 3 days, 7 hours, and 56 minutes. We'll call that 3 days and 8 hours. You can see the model itself is about 470 grams of filament. And some of you have asked how much the purging and all of that process takes. And as you can see, it's actually more than what the model is doing. Keep in mind that the majority of the inside of this model is hollow. And we did change the infill density to a very, very low number. So the model's actually not taken up very much. But that's still a giant number, as well as that's a lot of time over 3 days and 8 hours. So let's see if we can't, dig into that time a little bit and print this out a little bit quicker without sacrificing quality or anything. And the one thing that I change in here that I think has a dramatic effect on this, that doesn't really change the quality but dramatically affects the print time, is this flushing volumes that you'll see right here. And as you can see, it has this little multiplier in here, and you can go in and adjust all of these. I don't. I typically use 0.5 as the multiplier and hit auto calculate and let it do its thing with that. So let's see what effect that had on the slice. I'll see you when we get back. All right, so we're done with the slicing of this with the flushing volumes. And as you can see, pretty dramatic difference. 2 days, 21 hours and 14 minutes instead of 3 days and 8 hours. So what does that come to? Just over 10 hours, 11 hours almost of time saved just by the flushing volumes. And it won't affect the quality of it. Do be careful with that number. I think you could actually go lower and still come out all right, but do be careful. Depends on the quality of the object that you're looking for, as well as, if the top layer is white or a lighter color or whatever, you do run the risk of stuff bleeding through. So do keep that in mind. But as you can see, this is nearly in half of what it was before, and now it's less filament that is being used to flush than it is in the model, with the model being hollow as well as the infill density done like so. So let's go ahead and print it, and you do that by just clicking this button right up here. And as you can see here, this is what comes up whenever you do that. Some of you have asked how to do the time lapse and everything, and as you can see, it's automatically selected here. I do think you need the SD card for it, but it does come automatically selected every time I hit the print button. So I don't really have to think about that. Every time I hit the send button, that's already taken care of and done that way. So with that, we'll go ahead and hit the send button, and I'll see you in the time lapses. All right, so as you can see, the final product turned out really good. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you get out there and print one for yourself. Be sure to go over to the Printable page and hit the like button on there. Be sure to like and subscribe. Appreciate all my subscribers. Appreciate everybody. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you on the next video.